guys, this is Angelic of Angelic Simmer here with you, and I am here with a current household update. Um, this is technically the Hawthorne family lineage. I believe we're on generation six, six or seven. Um, I'm gonna have to look here. There's like so many family that it's just all combined into like one video. But there are playlists available, so you can go and check those out. But obviously, then this family started out with four sins technically. We had two. I started this legacy with two elders and two young adults, which were considered their children. The older of the two, her name was Amelia, and then they had. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Um, so the founding generation, his name is Benjamin Hawthorne. Excuse me, is Benjamin Hawthorne. And he had a wife by the name of Evelyn Hawthorne, and they had two kids, Amelia and um, Amelia and Samuel. Amelia, which was my heir, but Samuel had kids as huh? But Amelia had a brother named Samuel. Amelia had four kids. Eleanor, who was the heir, Elijah, Benny, and Erica. Amelia was married twice. The first three, so Eleanor, which was kind of a play on Evelyn, which would have been her grandmother. She's pretty much named after her grandmother. Um, her father was Marcus Marley, and she had two brothers. So they were a set of triplets, Elijah and Benny. So they were a set of triplets. Amelia had another set of triplets, which were Erica, um, um, so Erica's father, his name by the end was evidently Mitchell Holland. And Erica had two kids who were Denzel and Brody. And then Denzel had a son named Rez, which he's currently married to Angelia or Angelina. Um, and then Angelina see. And it looks like she's got a family. Oh, okay. So he married Angelina Torres. Okay. And then, okay. So they're intertwined with the Torres family. But, so anyway, um, I digress. The only family member that's still alive is Rosemary Riley, which is his grandmother, and I believe she may be a vampire. I don't know. Um, but they have two daughters. Rosemary had three daughters, one named Reese, one named Mindy, and one named Antoinette. And then obviously Reese had Rez, who was with Denzel, and Chris was with Julia, and Ernesto was Chris's parents, and obviously they ended up having two kids. And then Denzel ended up having Rez, and Brody ended up having Tatum, Chloe, and Dora, and they became the Hill family, it looks like. And then Chris Marley had a brother named Khalil, which obviously they didn't have any children, so pretty much Chris is the one that had the children. Um so um so then Eleanor, her children, oh, Olivia, which is her great grandmother or great granddaughter, excuse me. And then the descendant would be of Eleanor would be this baby, which is Roisy Bowen Sparrow, which doesn't exist because he was a miscarriage. But anyways, um, so technically Eleanor had four children. Samuel also has four children. His oldest was Samuel Jr. He had two children, Julia and Bob. One of his children had a grandson named Cameron, and he ended up dying of old age. So, so technically, that family line is pretty much diminished. At that point. And then Bob Hawthorne was, his mother was Jacqueline Hawthorne, which they've descended from Thorne Bailey. Um, Samuel Jr. and Elton through science, so they were twins. The egg donor technically was Cassidy Finn, who is originally in the game Cassidy Purdue, which is one of the base game townies that comes in the little tray. And we ended up having two sons with her. Samuel, he also adopted Samantha and Darius, which are actually biologically Erica's younger sister and younger brother. Samantha, oh, Samuel Jr. ended up having 2 children. He had a grandson. Elton, he ended up with 4 kids: Danielle, Martin, Seth, and Rachel. And he had Zachary Hawthorne, which is still alive, which was descended from Martin, which is his son. So he has a grandson. Elton still has a grandson that's still alive, which is amazing. Obviously, Seth never had children. Rachel had 3 children, but they're now deceased. Supposedly, Samuel Whipple, that now was Samuel Ingalls at the time of his death. They have he had a daughter named Randy Ingalls. He married Isaac and obviously took her name. And then they had Sarah and Sandra. And then Darius had Cypress, which I don't think he ended up having any more kids. So pretty much the Kaloa name has dwindled at that point. So technically overall, we have 2 that are from Samuel's lineage still alive, and then obviously Amelia's line of succession here. There's still quite a few left. So so Amelia's line, so she had Eleanor. Eleanor was the heir. Her first was Robin. Then it was Clementine. Then Colton. Colton was the youngest. And then Carrie, Arvin, and Benji. They were the last 3. So technically, yes, Eleanor had 6 kids in total. And Robin, later on in life, got married to a guy named Alex. They ended up adopting a child, which their child evidently is still a teenager, by the name of Mahai Serbert. And so he's still a teenager. But then Colton, all of his kids, he ended up getting abducted by aliens. So he ended up having 5 alien babies because he was my heir out of the existing kids that existed at that point. So the oldest out of his kids, his first abduction, he ended up with a set of triplets, which were Cusco, Comet, and Cammy. And then shortly when he became and those those three kids became infants. He got abducted. Um, or no, Cusco ended up getting taken away by family services. So then Comet would be the next, was obviously the next heir. And then so then Comet became the heir, and then she had um technically she had she got abducted and ended up having a set of triplets that were full blown alien because she was an alien herself. So she ended up with three kids as a teen, which was Zebulon, Aster, and Royce Sparrow. And then she ended up getting abducted again and ended up having Leo and Tate. Um, so she ended up having five kids. They were all aliens. Um, and Aster was the middle child of the triplets, and he ended up as a infant, ended up getting um, removed from family services, or yeah, from family services, and so he didn't exist. And Zebulon, who is my current heir now because he's a young adult, as well as Leo and Tate, um, they they are still alive. They're the only three of Comet's kids that are still alive. Zebulon had a son, which him and his current fiance, um, Poppy, Poppy Bowen, um, currently um, currently are with currently. She um they named their child Roisy, and Roisy is a play of his uncle Royce, and I thought that was just cute. And so basically Zebulon paid tribute to his basically his fraternal twin brother by doing that. So I thought that was cute. Anyway, um so um I found that cute. So technically um Comet does have a grandson. He just Poppy, they've tried Poppy and um Zebulon. They've been having trouble conceiving, and um so when they finally found out they were pregnant, they were they were pretty much overjoyed. I feel like Comet was like overjoyed because she never had, this was technically her first grandchild and everything like that. Or no, she wasn't overjoyed. She was actually just she was just sad. She's like, "You're not married yet," the kind of scenario. Um, but you know, this family technically they haven't made the best decisions anyway, like through the line. Um, really, because Comet was her first set of kids she had as a teenager. Colton was pretty much a young adult for the first three kids, and then once he became an adult, he had two more kids, and stuff like that. And then Comet, she didn't get married until she was an adult, so she was a single parent of 5 for a long time. So in a way, I kind of felt sorry for her, but sometimes you play that. Sometimes you got to play that family, and I was trying to find the right person for Comet, and then I found out later um, that Kyle Marley is actually a distant cousin because Elijah was his dad, and Kyle was Miriam's brother and Julian's brother, and his mother was Misty Marley. So, they had a different, uh, so they share a father, or they have, there is a blood relative in the mix, but it was a father. It's so, it was like, they never, they don't have kids currently, and Kyle's a young adult, so he's like the generation above her, so it didn't show that they were cousins. So there you go. And Comet still has Cosmos, who a um is technically a brother, and then also Skylar. Um and they had Janessa, and then there is Kurt Franco, and then obviously Howie and um and Lavero are Cammie's children. So she had 2 sons. And so there's kids there, but also I swore Leo and Tate had children, but I guess not. I swore they did. They adopted a child or something. But it must have been somebody else that I saw that. So it must have been here that Skylar did. Okay. So technically there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So technically there are 7 um generations, which is crazy. That still exist. But yeah, because Kyle is a descendant from Elijah, but he also married Comet. He has 2 science babies who are twins. Arian, who is his son, and Ariana, who is his daughter. And and then Tash got married to a lady named Crystal, and so Olivia is next generation from her, from Tash, from Clementine's line. So that happened there, and then obviously Colton, I think the youngest in this generation is in this generation to date, I think, is Mihai and Aryan and Ariana. Because these, well, he's a teen. So Lovero is a teen. Janessa, there's some Oh, Howie. Um, I believe, yeah, Howie has three other half siblings. So he has, because Aiden, Cammy married Aiden Hernandez, which he's descended from Jake and Magda Hernandez. And he had, via abduction, he had Constantina, Giovanni, and Dawson, um, which also had, um, did not have children. But, anyways, um, so Constantina and Rosa are married. Um, and then obviously, Rosa has a sister named Esther, and then they had a mom named Juliet. So she's still alive. Other than that, um, I think there hasn't been much more um, people really in the family left. Um, because when you go down from this perspective, technically the youngest in this whole family is Royzy, um, which he's generation 7. Um, but uh, but which is kind of crazy. So this family is my current family I've been playing. Obviously, I have generations 5 and 6 here with me in this household. Which this is Kyle Marley, who technically would be generation 4. He's technically the last of Elijah and Misty Marley's children. So pretty much the last of the um, Marley part of the lineage. Uh, well, technically, Arian and Ariana are the last of the Marley lineage, I think, that are still descending the Marley name. Um, so Kyle Marley, he is a party animal. He loves the outdoors. He's outgoing. He's lazy. He's not committal. Um, he's basically the only career he ever had was the handy person from for rent career is what he had, and he got to the top of that. He's still, I believe he's still working as a handy person. And you know, just for him to have money. I mean, just for them to have money. And technically, he only works 5 days a week. He makes $101 an hour, so it's not that big of a deal. He's not like completely, you know, like I feel like he could still work. Like I feel like he's, in his mid 50s, possibly early 60s, still working it. Like he's got plenty of time. Like he can retire like soon. I'm thinking that's what's gonna end up happening. Um, once Zebulon and Poppy end up getting married. They Poppy and Zebulon, they haven't gotten married yet. Um they've been they've been trying to have children. Um, they've been trying to get through university, which they are. They did, um, for a time, live in another apartment in San Myshuno, um, to get through university with their siblings. Um, Royce also ended up going to university until he basically was murdered. And so, um, and so, yeah. Um, Comet, um, is obviously Zebulon's mother, biological mother. Um, he, she is the stepmother to, um, actually, I think, no, I think she adopted, um, uh, Arian and Ariana, as adoptive son and daughter, uh, but they don't show up in the family tree as adopted son and daughter. They just show up as his kids, not hers. Um, but she takes, um, motherhood seriously. She's about to become an elder soon, so she's got 5 days until that. So she's going to be an elder pretty soon. Um, and so her traits are loyal, ambitious, neat, lactose intolerant, perfectionist, and child of the ocean. She's also infertile. She's part of the middle class. She is technically an alien. Um, I just don't like them showing their alien form. Uh, because genetic wise with their alien form, it just seems just so bleh, so messed up. She is the first one of the first generations of Zebulon was the second generation, and obviously his kids are possibly going to be third generation of alien. So we have a weak family bloodline when it comes to her. Always welcome. She's a knowledge sim. She was a happy toddler. She didn't want to have kids originally. Um, she's infertile now, so that didn't matter. Um, and then fear of death and um, stuff like that. So, yeah, she's technically a 2-star celebrity, isn't she? I feel like she is. Yes, she is a 2-star celebrity. She's also the top of the painting career. And then she's gotten 4 promotions since then. So she's got really good, and she's an adult. So I think that once she becomes an elder, she's going to retire. Because she makes quite a bit of money. And so, and they own this building. This family owns the building. So they're technically the property managers of this apartment complex. And so, and they do have, let's see, um, I do plan on owning another residential rental in New Crest. Um, but um, that hasn't happened yet. Um, so that's a possibility what I'm gonna do. Um, and then technically Zebulon's gonna own that. and then Zebulon and Poppy are gonna own that, and then obviously they're gonna be uh, Kyle and Comet are gonna live in the in-law suite, what they call the in-law suite, or in-law unit, and they're gonna live there and possibly pay a little bit of rent, not much, like the average rent that's um asked for. I think is what they're gonna do. Like they're gonna pay maybe $200 a week or something. Um, which I feel isn't a um bad for as much as she gets would get in retirement, and um him working a part-time as handy person. Um and I think, well, Poppy, oh, did I do her traits? Yes, I did her traits. Um Poppy, which is Zebulon's fiance. Um let's see here. Where she's at currently. Oh, right here. Um she is about to become an adult in 7 days. Um which is also kind of crazy. Um, says she doesn't want children right now. Um, but anyway, her traits are foodie, proper, cheerful, music lover, child of the islands, and perfectionist. She's also a family sim. She's also a knowledge sim. She does not believe in the occult, which is kind of crazy because she fell in love with an alien, but obviously she doesn't know that. She also has hypertension. She's also got a family or animal dander allergy. She's an Aquarius. Evidently, she's indifferent, being romantically exclusive. Um, so she doesn't care either way. Um, but she's currently engaged to um, Zebulon. Um, they have a very good uh, compatibility. Uh, so they get along. Kyle has also been kind of flirting with Poppy, and so I don't know. That's a little crazy in my book. Uh, that shouldn't be happening, but anyway, I digress there. Um, so things might happen later. Don't know. Um, but she's about to become a not a young adult, about to become an adult, and so, which is crazy, and they haven't had, a child yet, so it's kind of um crazy. Well, they have tried, but then she ended up miscarrying, and that would have been a boy too, which would have been even more cuter. Um, but Zebulon here, he is also 7 days to becoming an adult, so they're both going to become adults on the same day. And he's cheerful, maker, clubber, snob, perfectionist. He's also a night owl. Middle class. He's top-notch toddler. Has witnessed the occult because he is one. He's neutral about having children. He um, loves wanting children. He's got a strong alien bloodline. Um, but this is, but sorry, but this is Zebulon, and yeah. Um. Anyway, next person, and he's currently in Zebulon's currently in University for Art History, I believe. So yeah. Um. Anyway, this is Arian Marley. He's a teen. He's gonna be a young adult in 8 days, which is exciting. Um. He's got the good and goofball traits right now. Um, he also has super green thumb. He's also a Libra. He's an inspired explorer. He's got the romance aspiration. Or not romance aspiration, romance sim aspiration. Um, he also wants to be a best-selling author. Um, I think, oh, I didn't say the aspirations. Kyle wants to be the Mount Komorebi sightseer, which he's never lived in Mount Komorebi. Um, Comet is the painter extraordinaire, which she's almost gotten through. Poppy is the successful lineage. Um, and Zebulon is the serial hobbyist. And Ariane is the best-selling author. Ariana wants to be a Zen guru. Um, she is also a romance sim because she is a teen, or not a teen. She's almost a romance, also a romance sim because she is a Libra, like her brother. And obviously, in her case, her brother is asexual, but he wants to be a romance sim. Uh, he's asexual. He's a romantically attracted to feminine sims. He wants to have an exclusive relationship, but he doesn't want the sex part or the woohoo. And then Ariana, who's her right here, she wants to have an exclusive relationship. She wants to have the romance. She's a romance sim, but also uh, but is romantically attracted to masculine sims and sexually attracted to masculine sims. So she's straight. Um, Arian is just asexual, which I've dealt with an asexual sim before. I had an heir that was actually asexual, and he still ended up having kids via alien abduction, so it wasn't a bad thing. And he did end up getting married too, so it wasn't a it was later on in life he ended up getting married, but he ended up getting married. Um, so I feel like Ariane and Ariana, they're pretty much going to be in the same boat. Like they're going to be probably living in an apartment together. because they both have the same kind of personalities. And obviously they're twins. So, um, so they're gonna live in the same personality or same um, area. So I'm kind of hoping that Poppy can get a job because she does have a culinary degree. Um, so we're hoping that will happen. But also, I don't think she's gone to graduation either. Um, okay. I think we're gonna end this part, this update here. Um, I'm gonna hope by the next update we will have a wedding. Um, is what I'm planning on. I'm hoping to have a wedding. I'm hoping to have at least one child that Zebulon can continue their lineage with. And um and we can, you know, um hopefully can continue on the lineage. Um so I hope you guys have an awesome day. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.